calming your mom down because your dad forgot to call again. You were 10, making sure your little brother had lunch because nobody else remembered to check. You were 13, absorbing your mother's tears like it was your job to fix them. Nobody handed you a title. Nobody said, "Congratulations, you're the parent now." But somehow, you became one. Not by choice, by necessity, and nobody ever told you when you were allowed to put it down. Psychologists call this parentification. It happens when a child is forced to take on adult emotional or practical responsibilities, managing a parent's feelings, raising siblings, keeping the family functioning, long before they're capable of understanding what any of it means. It happens in millions of homes, quietly, every single day. And here's the part nobody tells you. It doesn't look like abuse. It looks like maturity. Adults praised you for it. You're so responsible. You're so mature for your age. I don't know what I'd do without you. Every one of those sentences sounded like love, but it was actually a weight being placed on a body too small to carry it. Think about it. A child who worries about bills isn't wise beyond their years. They're scared. A child who manages a parent's depression isn't emotionally intelligent. They're terrified of what happens if they don't. What looked like strength from the outside was survival on the inside. You learned to read a room before you learned to read a book. You learned your mother's mood from the sound of the front door. You learned silence could prevent an explosion. You became fluent in a language no child should ever have to speak, the language of managing another adult's pain. And that skill didn't disappear when you grew up. It followed you into every room you've walked into since. Look at your relationships now. Are you always the one who checks in first? Always the one holding everyone together? Do you feel guilty resting because somewhere inside, you still believe rest means someone else will fall apart? Do you find yourself scanning people's faces, searching for signs that something is wrong before they've even said a word? That's not a personality trait. That's a job you never got to quit. It just changed uniforms, from childhood to adulthood, from your family to your relationships. Here's the twist most people never see coming. You weren't just raising your siblings or managing your parents. You were also trying to raise yourself. Nobody was checking if you ate. Nobody was asking if you were okay. You became your own parent too. Except you were a child doing a job 3 adults couldn't handle. That's why setting boundaries now feels like betrayal. Saying no feels dangerous because as a kid, needing something felt like adding weight to people who were already drowning. So you stopped needing. You started performing okayness instead of feeling it, until even you believed it. But here's what's actually true. You didn't fail your family by wanting rest. You didn't fail them by needing care. You were a child who deserved to be taken care of, not the one holding everyone else together. That responsibility was never yours to begin with. Healing this doesn't mean blaming your parents forever. Most of them were drowning too, in their own unhealed wounds, doing the best they knew how with what they had, often repeating patterns handed down to them the exact same way. Understanding what happened to you isn't about blame. It's about finally putting down a weight that was never yours to carry. You can start today, small. Let someone else check in on you first. Let yourself rest without earning it. Let yourself need something without apologizing for it. Notice the guilt when it shows up, and let it be there without obeying it. You were never supposed to be the parent. You were supposed to be the child. It's not too late to let yourself be one, even now. The version of you that never got to rest is still waiting, and you're the only one who can finally let them.